before we even start this video, I want to let all of you know that it is Nala's birthday. What's up everyone, it's Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming a video all about hiking in Alaska and everything you need to know about it. So if you guys didn't know, I am living in Juneau, Alaska right now. I go to school up here studying marine biology, but on my free time I love being outside. Any chance I get, I go on a hike or a walk, or I go snowboarding, or anything outside has my name on it. So I figured I would let you guys know everything you need to know if you want to come hiking in Alaska. And I also wanted to let you guys know, if you want to keep track of my marine biology adventures, you can follow my Instagram at marinebiomich. But also, if you want to keep track of all of my outdoor adventures, you can follow on Instagram. That is my new Instagram to kind of keep like a photo diary of all of my adventures I go on. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video and let's dive in. Let's start off with some basic info. So I am in Juneau, Alaska, so this video will pertain to Juneau and the weather. Let's talk about the average weather. So right now it is April 8th. I'm so excited. We are about to have pretty much 7 days straight of sun. I'm very excited, and right now it is ranging between like 33 and 45 degrees. So spring is finally here. We are almost into the summer months, which I am so excited for. I'm going to be doing so many outdoor adventures this summer. But in the winter, I would say our average weather is snowy and anywhere between like 20 and like 35 degrees, I would say. But we just had like 4 months of straight snow. So in the winter, you definitely need to be prepared to hike in snow. And in summer, you definitely need to be also prepared to hike in the rain, because Juneau, Alaska is a rainforest. So you gotta be prepared for some rain. I also want to point out, I am not talking about backpacking. I have not dove into backpacking at all. I have absolutely zero experience with it. I would love to start backpacking this summer, so maybe I'll do an everything you need to know about backpacking in Alaska video at the end of summer, depending on how much I dive into it. But just to make it clear, this is strictly a hiking video, not a backpacking video. Let's talk about gear. I keep 99% of my gear in this like big giant tub, and usually I would have it all sprawled throughout my room. But this semester I got super organized, so I have a tub for my hiking stuff and I also have a tub for my snowboarding stuff on the top of my closet. So I highly recommend organization, because everything I need is right here for the most part. Like I said, 99% of my gear is in this tub. The first piece of gear I want to touch on is, in my opinion, probably the most important one, and that is your boots. So my boots are from Colombia, as you can tell. They are very, very dirty. I got these for Christmas. They are already very well loved. They're supposedly waterproof. I don't want to test that out just because the hikes that I do are sometimes 8+ miles. So do I want to hike 8 miles with wet feet? Absolutely not. But like I said, these are just Columbia hiking boots. If I can find the link to them, I'll link them down below. I just got dirt from those boots on my white pants, so that's great. On the topic of boots, I also use extra toughs. So I have these short deck boots, and then I also have these mid to tall boots. I will wear extra toughs on hikes that are like 1 to 2 miles, or hikes that I know are going to require either super high depths of snow, or either I'm walking through a stream, or sometimes I'm simply too lazy to lace up my hiking boots and I will put these on. But I also recommend having a pair of waterproof boots, either to bring with you or to just wear in general. These are 100% waterproof, unlike my Columbia ones, which I don't know if they are waterproof or not. I would say definitely boots are something that you want to put the most money into. I think they're one of the most important pieces of hiking gear that you can own, just because if you buy a bad pair of boots or you buy the wrong size pair of boots, you're going to be miserable. I remember I was doing a trail last spring and I was borrowing a pair of hiking boots because I didn't have a pair, and I had blisters, like almost the size of quarters, on my feet, and it was not fun. So take my advice, invest in a good pair of hiking boots. Moving on to the next piece of gear, pants. So I have 2 pairs of hiking pants. I have these army green ones that can zip off into shorts. I got these for Christmas, and my last pair of hiking pants are just these really pretty blue color. These do not zip off into shorts, which I'm kind of bummed about, but these are also from Amazon. Moving on to hiking shirts, if I'm gonna be honest, I really don't have designated hiking shirts. Typically I will wear just like long sleeve shirts. So this is a gray one. No, this is not gray. This is a green one that I thrifted from Salvation Army last year. Super thin material, but it's cotton, so it'll keep me warm. And then I have this super thin black one. I prefer really thin hiking shirts because sometimes I'm wearing thermals, I have an insulated jacket, and I have a bunch of gear on me. So the last thing I want is another thick layer on it. So personally for me, I prefer really thin base layers when it comes to my upper body. The next category, the next piece of gear is a jacket. So this is from Decathlon. It will also be linked down below. I got this for Christmas. It is insulated with, I believe, either like duck feathers or goose feathers, or it's some sort of feather because when I wash it, the feathers sometimes come out. But it is just insulated, and I really like this. It's not thick at all, so you don't have to worry about it being thick and bulky. Every time I wear this, within 20 minutes, I am sweating my ass off, which is good. The last piece of gear I will be touching on is a backpack. So I have a 14-liter High Sierra that also comes with a bladder. I highly recommend getting a backpack that has a bladder, whether it's Camelback brand, High Sierra, Tetons, whatever brand you can get your hands on, just make sure it has a bladder. I, for one, hate stopping while hiking to drink water, so when I'm just able to take my Camelback and just drink as I hike, so beneficial. I actually have a new Camelback in my Amazon cart right now because this is just so small and I'm kind of outgrowing it with the amount of gear I am bringing, but for right now, it works. I'm gonna link the one that's in my Amazon cart down below actually, and not this one, because this was a hand-me-down and it's time for an upgrade, but get yourself a backpack. Other than your boots, I think up next for the most expensive piece of gear would be a backpack. Some hiking backpacks are just so expensive, it breaks my heart. Touching one last time on expensive gear, at least for me, I know which things need to be expensive. So a backpack will be expensive and hiking boots will be expensive. However, I kinda, not cheap out, but kinda go a cheaper option for the rest of my hiking clothes. Like this jacket I think was $50. Both my hiking pants were like $30 each. These were already in my closet. So hiking does not need to be an expensive hobby. It's going, Nala, don't eat my hiking snacks, please. It's going to be as expensive as you want it to be and as expensive as you make it. So it can either be the most expensive hobby you've ever done or one of the cheaper hobbies. The next category I will be diving into is my other essentials that I take on a hike. So obviously you have your essentials like pants, like a backpack, like boots, and a jacket, but these are all of my other essentials that might not be essential to other people, but I think are essentials and that I take on every single hike. And the first essential is bear spray. And I repeat, bring your bear spray. I have personally never even seen a bear up in Juneau. I left last year for summer break way too early, and I was just not lucky enough in the fall. But if I don't see a bear this summer, I just have extremely bad luck. But I'm hoping I won't see one hiking, and I hope that I'll never have to use this. But I think it's an essential. I bring it on any hike, even if I'm hiking in their hibernation season. If this can take down a bear, it can take down anything like a man. So I recommend bear spray. And this is the UDAP bear spray. My roommate and I last semester bought a 2-pack from Costco. It was $30, they raised it to $40, but you can get 2 bottles of bear spray at Costco for 20 bucks a pop, and these last for 3 years and I've never had to spray it. But bottom line, bring your bear spray. This is probably the most important thing on this list of other essentials I'm about to share with you. The next essential is arguably for me the second biggest essential, and that is snacks. So I have had a recent obsession with these Bear Crunchy chips. This is the banana chips. I just thought of the irony. Bear chips right after bear spray, haha, knee slapper. But 2 of my favorites are the banana and the Granny Apple Smith chips. And I also really like the cinnamon apple ones, but my school cafeteria did not have them. But I always have one of these because I can easily just munch on them while I'm hiking. But snacks, also very important. I feel like I don't need to put water on this list because I would hope everyone would bring water while they're hiking. But along with the snacks, bring your water. Please, in a reusable water bottle or your Camelback. Just bring water. The next essential is head protection. So in the winter, I am wearing a beanie, and in the spring/summer, I always wear a hat just to keep the sun off my face, and in the winter, to keep my ears warm because it is not fun hiking and then you touch your ear and you're like, I can't feel myself touching my ear, and then you have to go in the car and then your ears are burning off because they're heating up and literally defrosting. So, hats. Honestly, sometimes I will layer, if it's a really chilly, like spring-summer day, I will put a hat on, but then I'll put a beanie on top of it just to keep the sun out of my face and my ears toasty. Next item on my essentials list are thermals. So I only have thermal pants. My legs tend to get more cold than my upper body, so I just have thermal pants. This brand is Cold Proof, but it's spelled P-R-U-F. So I have these. I personally don't wear thermals on my upper body because I just get way too hot. But I always wear thermals because you can always take layers off, but you can't put layers on if you don't have them. So I think this is another essential. Some people might be able to go without thermals, but I will either always wear these or keep them in my backpack. The next essential is ice grippers. If you guys don't know what these are, they basically slide onto your boot or your shoe, and they have these tiny little spikes on them. I don't know if you can tell if they're spikes, but they have little cleats or little spikes on them, and they grip the ice. So if you're on a really steep trail and it's really slippery, you need to put these on. Me and my roommates were hiking Mount Roberts 2 weeks ago, and it was still pretty icy because the elevation is pretty high. And we were slipping and sliding, and we were like, good thing we brought our grippers. So I recommend these anywhere. I recommend these on any hike because you are in Alaska and not all the snow and ice melts fully throughout the summer. So my school gave these to us for free, but I think you can buy them for pretty cheap either on Amazon or like at Sportsman's Warehouse or like Bass Pro Shop or something. The last little clothing essential are gloves. These are not usually the gloves that I bring. However, those are in my car. These are just my like spare gloves in case I lose the ones in my car. I always buy gloves that have like the touch little finger things so I can talk on the phone or text while I'm hiking, or even just like walking around campus with gloves on, I can type. Sometimes I will bring my snow gloves, but it hasn't snowed here in like, actually, that's a lie. It snowed on Tuesday. Don't know where it came from, but the snowflakes were like this big, and it snowed for like an hour, and that's it. But before that, it hasn't snowed in probably like almost a month. But those are in my snowboarding little bin, and hopefully I won't have to take those out until next snowboarding season in December. The next essential is my Apple Watch. So I always have my Apple Watch on me every single day, but especially when I'm hiking, because it tracks the elevation gain, how far I've hiked, and it keeps track of all of like my calories burnt and stuff like that. So I just have a white Apple Watch 3. This is really old. I've had it for years, and honestly I'm surprised it has lasted this long, but I just keep it on me. Like I said, I wear this every single day, but it is just an essential for my hiking. I remember one time I forgot it while I was hiking and I felt really naked. So I love having a watch, and I recommend you guys having a watch too. Another reason I highly recommend an Apple Watch is they have a setting that you can set up to where if it detects you falling really hard, it will notify your emergency contacts. I found that out because I saw a TikTok of this guy mountain biking, and he hit a rock and fell off a cliff, and his Apple Watch called his emergency contact, or like texted them saying blank's Apple Watch detected a really hard fall, and then they were able to call 911, and the guy ended up surviving, and the paramedic said like you wouldn't have survived if your Apple Watch would not have notified anyone. So I highly recommend getting something like that just to track your exercise. But at the end of the day, the things that these little watches can do nowadays is crazy, and it might save your life one day. Think of it as like a life alert, but for hikers. The last essential I think every hiker should have is All Trails. If you guys don't know what All Trails is, it's an app that you can type in the name of the city you want to hike in, and it shows all of the hiking trails in that area, if they're easy, moderate, or hard, the trail length and the elevation gain, and people can submit photos and reviews of the hike. And I recommend every hiker having it. It's so great, and you can just build like a little hiking community. So I have the app on my phone and I use it all the time. I love it so much, and you're able to create like to-do lists kinda, and you can add a bunch of hikes into a to-do list that you wanna do and save them for later. So I highly recommend it. I know there's a couple different hiking apps out there. However, I've used All Trails since the beginning, and I've never had an issue with it, and I love it. The last category of this video is my favorite trails in Juneau. So I, by far, have not done all of them. However, I just wanted to list off a couple of my favorites. So number one is Nugget Falls Trail. So that takes you up to Nugget Falls at the glacier. It's about 2 miles round trip. I love that hike, but let's be real here, it's more of like a walk. It's pretty flat. Next is East and West Glacier. The names are pretty self-explanatory. East Glacier takes you up the east side, and West Glacier takes you on the west side. So East Glacier is much shorter than West Glacier, but they're both really great hikes. The next trail is Salmon Creek Trail. This is one of my all-time favorites. It is so cool. Me and my friends and my boyfriend did it when he came up to visit me for spring break, and it was awesome. The first probably like 2 or 3 miles is pretty flat, and then after that it gets pretty intense. You're literally like climbing up the side of a mountain to get to a dam which holds back Salmon Creek, and it's super cool. We went and the lake was completely frozen over. Next is Mount Roberts. That is the trail that my roommates and I did a couple weeks ago. It's not that long to get up to the tram. I think that's like 2.5, almost 3 miles. But then you can go to the summit. We were not able to summit the mountain because the snow was just way too deep. There was actually a tram worker working on the tram up there when we hiked up there, and we asked him, we were like, where do you go like to get to the summit? And he goes, oh, well, you usually go that way, but you're gonna be hit with about waist deep of snow. So we weren't able to summit it. So that is my goal over the summer, is to summit Mount Roberts. I would love to do it at like 9 p.m. when it's still bright as fuck outside. So that would be really, really cool to do. But Mount Roberts was a beautiful hike, especially on a clear day. And last but not least, my favorite trail is Herbert Glacier. However, I have never seen Herbert Glacier. The first time we did the hike, we went and we were by ourselves. It was in the middle of spring. The bears were trying to come out. We didn't have any bear spray. We didn't have really anything to defend or protect ourselves. So we made a conscious decision to kind of go back and do it another time. And then we did it another time this past February, and we got farther. We were probably like a mile away from the glacier, but the snow was so deep and we weren't aware that we needed to bring snowshoes, which is another essential. Bring snowshoes. I personally don't have any. I can rent them from my school, but bring snowshoes. But yeah, Herbert Glacier, it's really simple. It's a long hike. I think it's like 5 miles in, 5 miles back, but it's pretty flat. I think during the summer when it's completely flat with no snow, you could easily do it in probably like 3 hours-ish. But I highly recommend all of those trails I just mentioned. They are great. That is everything you need to know about hiking in Alaska. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, give this video a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!